G'day guys and welcome to Raging Rhino. It's time for episode 6 of the Acolyte. Now, I have had a little bit of this episode spoiled because of Twitter. I did see Darth Smilo getting in and out of the water, but that's all I've seen. Let's get straight into this episode. I've got nothing really else to say about it, to be honest with you. It's been complete garbage so far, and I'm not expecting anything different moving forward. But with that being said, let's get straight into this. If you are new here, you get to see my reactions as I go through the episode, and then you get to hear my review and my thoughts at the very end. Let's do this. Okay, there's something I noticed really quickly. Just the titles of the episodes. So you got episode 1 is Lost and Found, or not and, just Lost Found. You got episode 2, which is Revenge Justice. Then you got episode 3, Destiny. Episode 4, Day. Episode 5, Night. And this episode is called Teach Corrupt. What's the bet by the end of this season that they come out with something on Twitter saying, did you figure out our code? And like it's some change around of these titles. The nerds would just love it. That's what they thought. All right, let's do this.
An acolyte.
What have you done? So annoying. Just to rewatch the recap. Man, they really show a lot of the recap. Jeez. Like you forgot. Osha. Not that you really need a crystal ball to know that. I didn't quite heal her completely. Is this the same planet as the forest planet? Or have they moved? Oh. You got a throwing knife now. One of your sisters. And her clothes. So what? We're on a completely different planet. So time's gone by. There's $1 million shot. Cost them a few million to produce that shot. Unknown planet. See, to me, that's just laziness. That's just laziness. Maybe it might be an unknown planet to Osha. Obviously not an unknown planet to Smilo. But to have the audience like not know the planet, like what's the purpose in that? Why not just name the planet? You know, then we know how far it is from Coruscant and how long it would take for people to travel and all of those sorts of things. It's, you know, I think that's a good example of showing what I mean when I'm talking about lore. Probably more so canon, to be honest. The world, the universe. Oh, look, toys you can buy. They're cute. A bit like the Porgs. Oh, there's a ship over there. Platform. Oh, he just appears out of nowhere. They're just taking off in the time that they've moved planets. See, this is what I'm talking about with time. Why? Why would the comms be down? Oh, she's going to do it now. She's got a knife. Surely Soul's sensing something.
Take the wheel.
Take the wheel. The wheel. And they've got a wheel. Wouldn't it be take the controls or something? And she does it. And she does it. Of all things, she actually does it. Man, I think that scene actually depicts like lore canon and continuity on like a micro scale. That's incredible. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Man, this is insane. On such a micro scale, you've got the destruction of lore canon and continuity in the entire thing in one small scene. So May, dressed as Osha, and for some reason, Soul can't sense that it's not Osha. So that must mean they're a dyad or something, and they're one in the Force because they're twins or something. They feel exactly the same through the Force. That you could argue that. But she's sneaking up to him to attack him. We've seen that Soul can sense danger from a long way off. And if she was supposed to be being trained by a Sith Lord, then he would sense this coming. There's your destruction of lore on a micro scale. You've established that the character can sense something from a long way off. When Smilo was floating down behind Osha in the forest, and he was the only one out of all the Jedi to turn around, you've established that he's got like this hyper sense of being able to detect danger a lot sooner than just a lightsaber coming down on them or something. So for him not to detect that it's not her, I mean, you could argue, okay, he does know, but we'd have to wait and see whether or not that's the case. Whether or not he knows and maybe he's just playing her. Maybe they're going to go through this entire arc of her being really helpful towards him and stuff like this. And then it'll get to the end of the series and she'll be like, you didn't know it was me. And he'll be like, yeah, I kind of knew the whole time. I don't know if the writers are that smart to do something like that. But then, so there's your lore stuff, right? The fact that you've established that Jedi can sense danger before it happens, and also the fact that especially Sol can sense it a long way off. Then you've got your continuity bit, right?
Disappointed.
Okay, so let me play this out and I'll explain what I mean. No, not continuity, canon.
Osha, I'm going to reset the transceiver. Take the wheel.
So he says, I'm going to reset the transceiver, take the wheel. Now, I don't know about you, but that just sounds wrong to me. Take the controls. Something other than take the wheel. Now, I understand that they put a wheel in there, so you could argue that. But did you see a wheel or a stick or anything really like that in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon? So there's your canon stuff, your world building, the entire universe, and what's contained in this universe. So that completely takes you out on a canon level, right? Now, some people might call it a nitpick, but you've got to sort of separate it from real world phrases like take the wheel. You got to be smarter than that. And then what's next? You got your continuity. She looks at him, doesn't actually go through with anything. He still doesn't sense anything based on what we're seeing. But she lets him walk past him. Now, why wouldn't you just go at him? You were ready to go. Is it because he turned around and he's sort of now you're wondering whether or not he's ready for it? Or is it just to make her go, oh, okay, maybe I'll just delay my attempt of killing him out of complete surprise? She still thinks that he knows that he doesn't know that it's May, that it's her. And then it's the fact that she takes the wheel and then all right, I'll do what you say. I'll take the wheel while you go and repair the ship when all I want to do is kill you and take the ship. What's your motivations right now, May? Where do you want to go? Do you want to kill the Jedi like your Sith master that in the last episode just tried to kill you because you betrayed him, because you wanted to go back to the Jedi? Even though the Jedi were the ones that you believe killed your family 16 years ago, and it was only recently that you found your sister, and your sister was like the only thing that matters at one point. What do you want to do? Do you want to take out the Jedi, take the ship, and try and find Osha and save her from the Sith Lord that tried to kill you? Or do you want to go along and just help out? And what do you want to do? Where are you going? That's your continuity. Now, in one scene, I've been able to show you a destruction of lore, canon, and continuity on a micro scale. Now I want you to blow that up. And that's Star Wars. The lore, canon, and continuity of Star Wars. You've got to know this shit, at least to some degree. Man, I can already see what they're doing here. May misunderstood Osha. Osha misunderstood May. You live in a day in that person's shoes and you'll be that person and you'll have a complete understanding. I can already see that that's what we're going to basically do here. You've got Osha putting on May's clothes and going out, and then the Sith Master just walks past out of nowhere. Man, just thinking about that for a second, out of nowhere. He keeps disappearing and appearing during fights. Imagine if they made it so he's got access to the world between worlds and he's just jumping in and out. His past self or his future self or however the world between worlds can work is going into the world between worlds, pulling out that guy from that world between worlds, then they go in at another point. Man, just thinking about that was crazy. But anyway, there's your lore, canon, and continuity on a micro scale. And then you blow that up, and that's the entire Star Wars galaxy, the entire universe. The fact that you've got a Jedi that can't sense anything, now he could be fooling all of us. But again, I don't think the writers are that smart. But by the end, it's going to be, and is time going to even be a factor in that? It would take May time to adjust to actually now being a good person, especially due to the fact that she wants to kill the Jedi. She's killed 2 of them, mind you. And these are the Jedi that killed her family 16 years ago. She knows no different. And the same goes for Osha. You can already see it. By the end of this episode, Osha's going to be May and May's going to be Osha. Oh, it's such bad writing because there's no motivations for either of them to want to do that. The wheel and the stick is so ridiculous. Why is the ship broken? That's another thing I want to know. Why is the ship broken? What happened to the ship? Is this another case of when Smilo was able to use the world between worlds, perhaps? After he got strung up by May, he used the world between worlds to get out of there, then went back into the real world where the ship was, broke the ship, and then jumped back to the fight in the forest. Why is the ship broken? The Jedi landed on the planet, and there's, from what we know, no tampering with the ship, and then it took off. Why is he having communication issues? Is it because we can't get the word Sith back to the Jedi Temple, the actual word Sith, because they've got to explicitly say it for all you retards? Otherwise, it's not law and canon breaking. Oh, that's not very Jedi of you. Emotions. Control your emotions, soul. It's okay to grieve, but to be that angry. Hey, he does a good job of acting, at least. It's a bad script he was given. People are going to justify it by saying, oh, that clouded his judgment of May. It still doesn't remove the fact that he should have sensed danger coming up behind him from a mile away. She's got a knife in her hand. He'll sense that. Isn't his Jedi spider tingly sense going off? And how is this guy going to communicate with him? Oh, the music that goes with this. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, this is what I've sort of seen. I haven't seen all of it, so I don't have necessarily all the context of it. But again, it brings me back to the question of, surely he knows that she's watching him. He can sense her. Surely you would have to think that at least one of them can sense the other, right? When it comes to either Soul or this guy. And you would think it's this guy. And he obviously knows it's Osha, and we know that. But for him to strip off naked and get in the water while he knows that she's watching, that's a little bit on the creepy side too. Oh, look, he's all scarred up. Oh, that's a bit, I don't know. You looked him up and down. Oh, she's got a knife. She's going to throw it at his head and he'll turn around and catch it. Why would I ever think that? He needs to turn her to see it from May's point of view. Yeah, he knows.
You are.
And so she points at him like it's going to fire something. This is so ridiculous.
To kill me like this.
This is the thing that's so ridiculous, is like, what's Osha's motivation to even listen to him? He's just gone on to kill all of these Jedi Masters, Jedi Knights, I should say, sorry, and Jackie and Yord. Like, these are people that she knew. These are friends. She should be still pretty angry. This is the moments after she wakes up. So he can't read her mind.
Why bring me here?
Master and pupil.
I like how they call it pupil, not apprentice. Again, just small little changes. See, that's what makes this not Star Wars. When I say Disney Star Wars isn't Star Wars, that's what that is. You know, you want to make something different, make something different. But to make something different and then slap the label Star Wars on it when there's so much established and everything, again, they're allowed to make their own canon. They own it, which is ridiculous, which is so stupid. I don't understand why you do that to a $4 billion company. But, you know, so they're only just getting to the outside of the planet now. Again, they're on a completely other planet.
You saved us, Osha.
See, that the reason why he grabbed her like that, oh, it's so stupid, is because they wanted to make the audience think that he knew and that he was maybe going to do something to get her, but then it just turns into a hug. If he was so, like, distraught and everything the way he was downstairs, that's not how you do that. You grab her and pull her in slow and then give her a hug. It's so forced.
That man.
So he doesn't know that it's her.
It's time for me.
Now the entire ship's lost power. They just docked with their other ship. Why is this happening? So she's still not
on a mission in the Outer Rim.
Oh my god.
Casualties.
Who? The connection was faulty.
So this is, it's what is this guy gay? And he's a real gay actor, and you brought in a gay guy, and you made him a Jedi. Is that really what we're doing here? Like, I mentioned everything else that I have a problem with, had nothing to do with any of the identity politics stuff. But again, this just feels so forced because of everything that's been said and set up, and it's then so obvious and so removing.
You speak as if you were a Jedi.
So how long do you think it's going to take them to get to the planet?
A long time ago.
Instant?
Everyone does seem to want you.
What?
If you keep me here,
I'd start swimming if you want to make it to the ship before sundown. Or you could wait for the tide to go out.
Doesn't really look that far away, to be honest. I could swim that. We're doing this. We're swapping places for a day. How long? Time? What are you doing?
reset your factory settings.
To reset to factory settings, you just hold down 2 buttons like an iPhone. Now she's got a bad one.
Check on the power.
Look how far she'd have to swim there. It's really not that far. There's a little bit here that sticks out that you could swim to easier.
If you were a Jedi, you know it's something you must exercise. Without training, it fades.
No, it doesn't.
That's what they told you.
That's so dumb
The
that the Jedi even
There's only one
teach
way
that way. Again, your law. Man, what the fuck?
And if you don't do it their way, it fades.
What?
That's the path to the dark side.
But at least you can use the Force
Semantics.
forever and it not fade. That's what they
murdered
did
my-
there. That's exactly what they did there. If you learn the way the Jedi teach you and you don't continue to exercise the muscle of the Force, you lose the ability. And that came from Osha. That piece of law came from Osha. The Jedi are teaching that that's what happens. But his solution to that is that you dabble in fear, hate, anger, all your dark emotions. And that means that what? You can use the Force whenever and you can feel the Force whenever? What is this even talking about now?
I have the same relationship with her.
This
That
is
you have with your
stupid
master.
dialogue.
I'm not that easily corrupted.
By the end of the day, you'll be there, I bet.
A Jedi doesn't attack the unarmed.
Oh my god!
still think
This is ridiculous.
I understand.
This is so dumb. This is to maintain the cover up.
You can tell me.
We're not going to hear him. Oh, power's back up, conveniently enough, to interrupt this conversation. Okay, he knows. I don't know how long it took him, though. And there's the tattoo. Oh, it was him getting to him that made him realize. Man, that's crazy that it was actually like the sniffer dog that actually somehow told him that it's May in that last moment. Never once sensed it, never once thought about it. The biggest destructive part of it is the danger, 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 Will Robinson part. What, now he shuts off the comms? Where is he going? He wants to help May. This is so stupid. This is the Jedi get there. Gee, that was really fucking quick, actually. That was really quick. They got there in no time. Okay.
Could explain a large amount of casualties.
It could.
See, the other 2 Jedi, they don't contribute anything to the conversation. Like, why not? This is sort of your world building thing. It's that same soy Jedi that comes over every time to report. Like, you wouldn't have everybody there just at least contributing to the conversation? No? Don't think that's a good idea? He's fixing his Cortosis helmet with an electronic
mistake with
something.
me.
Shuts down a lightsaber,
I
eh?
wanted more than just the power of 2.
Oh my god.
Your Jedi Master?
Oh, the green woman. She's going to put it on, and that'll lead us into the flashback. Jedi dead everywhere. See, this is the other problem too, is even if she's covering it up, these other Jedi are seeing these other Jedi that are dead with lightsaber wounds, possibly being able to sense and possibly hear the echo like she can. You never know. This is the thing. Not all Jedi should have the same abilities as all other Jedi. Like they can have strengths and weaknesses within the Force. But who's to say that they're not sensing the same things? Or not even able to on a small level?
Saved.
Again, he's the only one talking. You couldn't put one of the other Jedi there? Oh, there's your whip.
Something to tip the scales.
Oh my God.
Did this? Why would he?
So that's the end of the episode. Oh no. So she's going to put the helmet on, and that'll take her into a flashback of what actually happened somehow. Because it's just her and the Force inside the Cortosis helmet. What is there? A respirator in there? Heavy breathing now. They've tried to give it that Vader connection. And that's the end of the episode. Oh, man. Well, how predictable. You only needed to see the first couple of minutes of that episode and you knew exactly where they were going with it. The problem is that time in this episode just does not take place. Somehow, Osha and the stranger, Smilo, have left the planet and gone to an entire other planet in the time that they have been able to take off, even though they couldn't send a transmission because there's something completely wrong with the ship. It's amazing that he actually gets that all fixed so that he can make a jump into hyperspace just in time before the Jedi arrive to the planet. And again, the Jedi flying to the planet, again, time doesn't exist. It's just they're there. They're there. They need to be where they need to be, exactly where they need to be. I think my little rant in the middle there was enough to explain how bad this show is. Your basics, hows and whys, like how is the ship broken? Why does May want to just help instead of doing what she should have been doing? Why isn't Sol sensing that? Why did it take the little sniffer dog to tell Sol that it was May so that he could take her out? I thought maybe he was just trolling her and making her believe that he didn't know so that he could like try and change her. But he doesn't need to do that because he's been able to stun her without her actually ever attempting to kill him once this entire time, with plenty of opportunity to try at least. And then you've got Osha on the other side, seeing everything now from the other point of view, and we're going to come together. And I just don't know. I just don't know what the show is supposed to be trying to portray here. This is unbelievable. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get every single clip of what was wrong or my reactions to that in this video without being copyrighted. Because at every turn, you're asking how and why. And then when you broaden it into the Star Wars galaxy, you start then seeing the lore and canon and continuity issues within all of that. Continuity can be the continuity of writing or the continuity of characters. I'm glad that they gave us that one scene there where you had a break in all three elements of that, all in a minute of screen time, not even. Unbelievably bad. It's unbelievable how somebody can write something that bad. It's just mind-blowing. It's laughable. I mean, Jesus, if this is supposed to be Leslie Headland's like most expensive psychiatric session, psychology session, man, if this was what was going through my head, I'd be fucking confused and weirded out and strange and all over the place too. Chronic liar, abrupting, oh, Star Wars saved my life, fake tears. Like the projection of like just fakeness comes out of this person. And if this is what we're seeing on the screen, and this is, like I said, what's going on in Leslie Headland's head from her life and her experiences with her sister and her experience as a queer person, that's everything that we're getting thrown in this show, fuck, man, my head would explode too. Because this is a mess. It's messy. It's all over the place. And people will say, oh, the dialogue, but the dialogue, it helped them actually now understand the other side. I don't care. In the Star Wars galaxy, you've broken the rules of the galaxy to begin with when it comes down to the simplicity of lore, canon, and continuity in this universe. That's what makes Disney Star Wars not Star Wars. It's unbelievable how bad this is. I got nothing more to say about it. My reactions and everything and my breakdown in the middle there says it all. That says it all. It really does. Anyway, let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comments below. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Later, guys.